What's going on, boxing fans? Well, there you have it. He's still a problem. Adrien, the problem Broner, will dispatch then WBC lightweight champion Antonio DeMarco in less than 12 rounds of a championship fight. It pretty much went exactly like I thought it would, except for the fact that I thought DeMarco may give Adrien some problems early. Both guys, you could see they were trying to feel each other out from a distance. The distance is actually where DeMarco's strengths lie. And when he basically found how difficult it was to land flush against Adrien, and that Adrien was taking whatever DeMarco gave him, DeMarco would beat on his chest, and he was really trying to prove a point. And what he ended up doing was abandoning his own strengths, like that long jab from a distance, that long straight left, countering a guy who's trying to dictate the fight. A lot of those things weren't working to his benefit. He was being countered by straight rights and lead lefts, and he opted to take the game to the inside, which is not where his strengths lie. He doesn't have a cold inside game like, let's say, a Brandon Rios. And if you can't hit a guy with that type of defense from a distance where your strengths are, it's going to be almost impossible to try to beat him and try to find openings on the inside. Because, let's be honest, DeMarco's tall, he's rangy, and that's not usually the area for the taller, bigger man to be, unless he's just a grinder, a banger, guy who uses his weight against his opponent to sap their energy, go into the body, resting on them. And that's not his game. He's a boxer puncher. So this fight was basically the coming out party for Adrien, winning his second world title. Fought the best guy at 135 pounds. Pretty much did whatever he wanted. He took his time. He saw the openings from a distance. He was picking one shot at a time. Wasn't getting too big-headed in there. And as he began to throw body shots and try to take the air out of the tires, as Teddy Atlas would say, he began to find all the openings. He has the makings of somebody who's going to do good things in the sport. He has a lot of good attributes. I'm sure you already know about it, but it doesn't go to his head. See, a lot of people, they get the Broner that talks a lot of crap and says a lot of things, says he's going to do a lot of things, and they think that's the guy that's going to show up on fight night. But make no mistake about it, the entertainer stays home. I've said this before in terms of Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, these guys say what they have to say to sell a fight, whether you like them or hate them. If you tune in, you're a paying customer, regardless, hands down. Whether it's ratings or tickets, you're a paying customer. It's business, okay? It's marketing. And on fight night, the entertainer does not show up to fight. The fighter actually shows up to fight. I mean, some people I'm hearing they saying DeMarco threw the fight. Come on now. No, you're not going to training camp and submit yourself to all that type of torture. Can't eat. You got to work 2 a day, sometimes 3. Sparring, rigors of sparring, unnecessary punishment. You're not getting paid to spar. In fact, you pay your sparring partners to spar. So you're not going to go through all that just to show up on fight night and allow somebody to beat on you. Okay, this is not the 60s where the mob influence was heavy. It's a whole different ball game. DeMarco came to win. He came to defend his title. He came to win because a win over Adrien Broner would have took him to bigger and better things. He showed up to fight. It was not his night. Give Broner his props. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. I don't know why you guys kill me, man, because to me it seems like y'all take this game for granted, like it's a video game or something. These are two men in the ring getting it on with the same mindset to knock the other guy out, to win. But for some reason, it seems to me you guys think that when Broner gets to the ring, he sort of puts in a cheat code or something. so he can have the advantage, and that's why he comes out successful. Disrespectful, man. And I don't know what else to say about all that, but you know, maybe over time you'll learn an appreciation for this game. Stop getting so emotionally attached to fighters. If you really don't know these guys personally, you really shouldn't be getting emotionally attached. You need to be appreciative for what both guys brought to the ring and what these guys are doing for you, because you're watching on TV while they're in there taking that punishment, and just have an appreciation for the sport. Me, I know a lot of fighters personally, and I ain't gonna lie, if I know them, I'm biased. But I say that. I used to say it when I was on the radio show. Shout out to Robodo Radio. You know what I'm saying? I am. And you know, when Juan was fighting, I used to say it all the time. I'm biased. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. But if I don't know the guys, you're probably going to get the most objective analysis from me. And as far as last night, Adrien did his thing. What's next? You know, we can possibly unify with Vasquez. I know Vasquez's name wasn't mentioned. Ricky Burns, we already know Ricky Burns does not want to fight Adrien. Ricky Burns probably wants to fight Adrien Broner, but Ricky Burns people probably don't want him in the ring with Broner. That's just boxing as a business, man. They do better by putting him in there with somebody else. And Ricky Burns can actually fight. You know, he's very good. He don't have big power, but he defends himself very well. Knows how to use the ring very well too. And he also is a guy that takes what's given. He don't go in there and rushing, losing his head and shit like that. He's a good fighter. I want to see Broner against Brandon Rios. But after what I saw last night, I think Broner will actually do very well against Rios. At first I was undecided. Rios is big. You know, he takes guys' strengths away from you, take their jab away, take distance away, cut the ring off, take the ring away, and put guys in a very uncomfortable state because he's big. He likes to fight on the inside. He has a big punch, takes a good punch, and he smothers guys. And he also protects himself really well in close quarters, what a lot of guys still haven't figured out how to do. But if anything was shown to you last night, Broner knows how to defend himself in close quarters. He also picks shots that are given to him. And I think it's a much closer fight than I initially thought. You know, I think Brandon Rios will have a lot of problems against Broner, but you know, that's just my analysis, and you know, at the end of the day, I can analyze it till I'm blue in the face. They still got to get in the ring and do it. And as of right now, Rios is still the much bigger, naturally bigger, heavier guy. But all it takes is one punch. So either guy can win. If they do it, that'd be great for boxing. Now, as far as Seth Mitchell, this is a perfect example of why I've had this assault on the media for so long. Because they hype this guy. He's going to be the next great heavyweight, this, that, and the third. My thing with the media, and I've said this plenty of times, these guys have crowned themselves as the final authority on ranking guys. And these guys never fought before. And that's what kills me. And they'll catapult their propaganda all over the news. They'll catapult their propaganda all over the internet. And the people that actually buy into their bullshit or pay to read their articles and stuff like that, they take that further and duplicate it and tell other people about it. And that's how they learn the sport, through the writers and the networks. And that's not boxing. The media does not have the authority. Nobody crowned them as the final authority on ranking guys. And anybody that's been around the sport for a long time already saw that Seth Mitchell's game was Swiss cheese. He got holes in his game. Now, don't get me wrong, he got a tremendous upside. But, you know, he can punch, which anybody over 200 pounds can punch, you know what I'm saying? But he has that shattering power. And he's hungry, he's strong, and he comes to fight. But anybody can see he drops his hands sometimes. Not drop both hands, but he drops that lead hand sometimes. He don't move his head. He's flat-footed. He's front foot heavy. I can go on and on about his vulnerabilities in the ring, and it took a guy, a blown up cruiserweight, to expose it. Now, actually, I thought Witherspoon would expose it, but Witherspoon got caught, and that's all it takes, especially in the heavyweight division. One big shot can take it, fight over. You know what I'm saying? But I knew a guy with experience in the amateurs, or just experience with sparring high caliber opponents, guys with better resumes who have been in there with much better fighters, would expose him, and that's exactly what happened. He got exposed in a major way, and you could tell that the inexperience of Mitchell. You can tell his inexperience when he got hurt. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. They get hit, they get put down, and it's like in their mindset, it's like, oh no, you didn't, and they got to get up and try to prove themselves. But an experienced guy, with an experienced team, would know that if you hurt, tie him up, stay away, stay at a distance. Don't try to stand in there and trade when you don't even have your wits about yourself. Get your faculties in order, get back to the game plan. Then he get put down another time. Still, his legs are straight spaghetti. He's on Queer Street, and he's still trying to fight. My advice to anybody in that situation, which should have been told in camp on many a times, you have over 20 fights, you definitely should know this. Take a knee, man. You're not gonna be a bitch if you take a knee. Take a knee. He was in a hurry to get up. He didn't have no legs. Jump around, try to get your equilibrium back to where it needs to be so you can keep fighting. And the inexperience of Mitchell cost him heavily in a fight that probably could have took him to another level as far as bigger fights. But you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? That fight with Klitschko, you can forget about that. So back to the drawing board for Mitchell. The blueprint is out there on how to beat him. It's a possibility this guy may never get back to the level he was just at. Yeah, he was just the NABO champion, and that really don't mean anything, but this guy's a sitting duck now. He got a lot of work to do. He said feel sorry for his next opponent. Unless your next opponent has 50 losses, I feel sorry for you. But anyway, man, that's all I got for you, bro. Let me know what you think, who you think Adrien should fight, what you think of his performance, if you thought DeMarco threw the fight. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, deuce.